like trees.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny Bean, and you're watching Show Me Your Pick with Fruitcake Tony. Enjoy the show.
Ho.
Hello, you guys.
Hello. Happy Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
Saturday.
Wait, I'm the one without glasses again.
There you go.
There we go.
It's good to see. It's good to
Elvis
see.
has entered the building.
There you go.
These were like dollar store stuff that Kyle picked up.
They're cool.
What's happening?
I hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, happy Saturday. It is
Yeah.
June the 7th, 2021.
June.
Show me your
June.
Did I say June?
You did.
August.
Tony's time traveling. I didn't
August
say the word right.
the 7th,
Yes.
2021.
I can't
Yes.
even say time travel, so.
Hey, Mr. Johnny Bean's in there. He brought us
JB.
on and he's in the
What's
chat.
up, Johnny? How you doing, man?
Mr. Bean.
Johnny was jamming outside today. I was watching a little bit.
How you guys doing? Charles, what's happening?
Doing well. I hope everyone is doing good. Man, oh man, it's we got a break in the heat. I had to work all today. I got to work all day tomorrow.
I was going to ask you, yeah. You're
Yeah,
out
we're
of
tomorrow.
here.
Totally
Charles.
cool. It's totally cool. We got some rain around here right now. And, it's a break in the heat.
Did you keep your sunscreen on or was it overcast?
You know what? I don't even need sunscreen anymore. I wear a huge
Out
hat.
so much.
I cover up. Skin cancer is a real thing when you stand in the sun all darn day long, guys.
Well,
So I cover up,
yeah.
I wear these
got-
big UV goggles sometimes because if you
That's
stand next to a swimming pool all day long
Oh, yeah,
with
man.
goggles on, you'll go blind.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
Your retinas will burn and everything. It's really
Yep.
bad for your eyes. It's like going snowblind. Same thing, the sun reflects.
It's like staring at the
So
sun.
I don't think people take it seriously until it happens. I mean, I don't know if you know, but like the guy that made the original Slash Les Paul, he died of a rare form of leukemia. But the reason he died is he was spraying those Les Paul replicas in an apartment with no mask and no ventilation. And he only did it for like less than a 5-year period. He developed leukemia, and like a year or two later, he was dead.
Yeah, that's all it takes. It's all it takes.
I don't think people, realize how dangerous that stuff is. They're like, I can get away with a little bit of it,
Yeah.
Once you start feeling like you've got a headache, man, leave the house.
That's right.
That's too late. You shouldn't even be there then.
I got the worst sunburn of my life when I was putting in pools.
Oh, really?
And way back when I did it, back in the 80s, they didn't have the cement hoses, so we had a wheelbarrow cement everywhere. Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus, man. I try to forget those days, Brendan.
Dude, up and down wooden planks and all this. And one time I'm getting it filled up and the chute broke. And I got cement all over me. That was not good.
Brendan,
That's not good for your skin.
How many dudes like their first day spilled like a whole thing of cement? And you're like, dude, you got to be kidding me.
Oh my
God. And then it hardens. You know, like
I've fallen over a wheelbarrow full of cement before going between a house and a fence. Literally, you push the nose directly into like a lump of dirt or something, and it just ended. I've gone over and fallen into the mass of stuff that was in the wheelbarrow.
I've only
right in the back of my head and everything. Concrete in your hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Two. That's what's called shaving your head. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's not get that extreme.
They're heavy.
But,
they're heavy.
No, I mean shaving your head if it dries in there.
Oh yeah.
Not yet.
If it dries on you though.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, who's in the chat tonight? Who else here?
Let's see.
Oh, take a look.
Zach, go ahead, Brandon.
No, you go ahead, Tom. You go for it.
Zach Thong, it looks like.
What's going on, Zach?
Let me see here. Dan of New Jersey. Oh, dear Lord. Quentin James.
Hey, how you guys?
Mike Johnson.
Mike.
How's it going? Keith H.
What's going on, bro?
We got Johnny Bean, we mentioned. JB here. Someone named Brendan B. Squared. I don't know who that is. I see butt cheeks on screen, but let's see. Christopher Live Sour. Hey, Chris.
Christopher.
Original Paramutant, who I think was listening to Badlands, he said.
Yeah, bro.
Before we started. Fruitcake Tony, I know who that is. TK over there. Simon Hosford, the man himself. If you haven't seen any of Simon's playing and you're not impressed by someone playing the whole Van Halen album live, go just put in YouTube Simon Hosford space. You ready? Tommy Emmanuel. And you will see a video of Simon playing with Tommy Emmanuel.
I love Tommy.
And it's not like the teacher and the master. It's like just two dudes playing together.
Tommy's amazing.
Obviously, Tommy Emmanuel's the original, the OG, but Simon's keeping up with him. I mean, Simon is I don't know if you guys realize, I mean, Simon toured with Men at Work all through Australia. I mean, pro touring guitar player. I mean, I think, Tony, if he's available at some point, I mean, he'd be awesome to have on your show if he's, up for it. I don't know what the 12 hours difference, working something out, but he's a phenomenal player. But anyway, so we got Simon here. John Moronic. Let's see.
Oh, cool. Hey, John.
My thing moved on me. Music Therapy Laz.
What up, Laz?
Dwight Bailey, the Hitman. Jimmy Ray Hawkins, how's it going?
Jimmy.
Paul Rhodes. And I think I said Zach Thong. If I missed anyone, please let me know. I think that's it. I said Dwight Bailey.
Dan in New Jersey.
I think that was it.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome,
yeah, nice to see you.
Jimmy Ray.
Paul is ready for a Mammoth WVH concert. I think you guys are too, aren't you?
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Now, Tony, I'm going to say something really quick, controversial. I know that.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I'm not saying anything bad about guns. Not saying anything bad about guns.
Oh boy.
No, it's not bad about guns. It's good about Wolfgang. It's not bad about guns. I think though that Wolfgang is pulling off what Van Halen did when they toured with Black Sabbath. Because I watched that whole show in Hershey. I watched the whole show in Hershey, man.
That's interesting, Tom.
The energy. I'm not saying the and I didn't mean that to offend you, Tony. I don't mean the lineage. I don't mean the history. I know.
Tony doesn't get offended.
I love everything about what guns is.
I will say this though. There was a lot of speculation about Van Halen and that year blowing Black Sabbath off the stage. And
like hearsay?
That's how you heard it, but that came later.
Yeah.
But
analogously, I thought the energy from Wolfgang's band. But
I think that as this tour is looked at, it'll be looked upon that way.
Yeah.
Wolf is bringing it. Right.
Here's the problem. You realize how much I never realized, and this is my own stupidity, so you can all throw eggs on my face, just really how much the singer means to a rock band. I was always like, it's the drummer, the guitar player, or sometimes if you don't have a great guitar player, sometimes it's the bass player and the drummer carrying the whole band. Because if you don't have a good drummer, forget it, you're dead in the water, any band. But I never realized how important the singer was until I watched Axl on his 5th song in. And I wasn't laughing at him. I felt bad for him because he can't fight age. He can't hit that growly higher thing. So he just goes into like this 3rd grade little girl sounding falsetto. He was like, you
You know, the way I agree with everything you're saying, but here's kind of the way that I'm taking it at my age. At my age, it's like this. I will take. Let's use David Lee Roth as an example.
Okay.
If I'm a fan of the band, I'm a big fan of Guns N' Roses, and what I'm about to say about Dave is exactly the way I feel about Axl.
Okay.
Because there's the way I look at it. I will take David Lee Roth sitting in a wheelchair, tapping one foot with some drool coming out of the corner of his mouth, mumbling the words to Panama. I'll still go to the show if he's still performing.
Yeah.
Because I want to see him. So my going to see Axl and the excitement I have to see the whole band, especially Slash, it's for that reason. It's for that reason because I'm not expecting. I am not expecting. Yeah. He's been doing this shit for 40 years, you guys. My God. How he can speak and sing is just.
I think I'm looking. Oh,
is that Lulu?
I think I'm looking at it differently because
Lucy.
When Wolfgang came out, the energy was young, vibrant energy. But now let me say this about Guns N' Roses: 99% of Guns N' Roses was vibrant energy. Axl looked like he was tired and came off of a 20-hour flight. The rest of the band, that's what killed me because. I agree with you. Without Axl, that's not them. No. But I almost wish they would have just faked it and had really low vocals and mixed them to make it sound better because the sound, I watched 5 different people, like different seats in this, including one really close to make sure it wasn't just where it was
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but this is my humble opinion, but he sounded god awful. As bad as Axl sounded, that's how good the band sounded, though. And I want to say Richard Fortus was the best sounding guy on that stage. He sounded so good. He sounded phenomenal. When he doubled those lines with Slash, they were. Now, I'm a huge Izzy Stradlin fan. No one will replace Izzy Stradlin in my book. But to me, Richard Fortus has been the best person in that chair since Izzy was in the band.
Very cool. I can't wait.
He doesn't try to be Slash. He doesn't try to be like or shred or do like the stuff Slash does. He's happy to sit back and go Slash to Slash. I have a very important role, and that's to do this chordal thing and these back string parts, and he does it perfect, And he's, did you watch him on the Pete Thorne show? He was just the nicest guy.
He's got to emulate all the of Izzy's licks, and Izzy's no slouch guitar player. And
try to play his stuff, you realize, right?
And it's not easy emulating a missing member of a band that you've been listening to for 3-4 decades. Right. Yeah, I'm just excited to see him. I can't believe they're still actually playing, and I don't take it for granted anymore. I knew I was going to see Eddie again, and I missed that one. Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen. And so I took that for granted, and I'm not doing that anymore. So every chance I have now, and my kids know too, we're going to see shows. Yeah. We're going to go see some people, especially guys who are up there in age. That's kind of my new thing.
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, guys that have been playing for a while, right? Like, I know when Vince Neil first went out to try to get ready, it was horrible. But he just did another show. He sounded pretty good, so he's getting his chops back.
Guys, let him fool you. The old Vince that I knew would have come. Look, if that show was going to happen, this is why I was confused. I expected him to drop about 40 pounds. I expected him to have worked on his vocals to the point where they could give us at least like what I just said about David Lee Roth.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not expecting him to sound good. I'm just expecting him to be there and give us something. I mean,
and they're not going to tour, though, for another year, right? 22. So he's got time. He better use it.
Yes. Well, the old Vince, this is what he did. He's like a prize fighter. He would have showed up with the right weight and a voice. Don't count him out. He is a very surprising individual. He will come out of left field if you don't expect it.
I think
that's all I'm going to say. I expect more from Vince Neil. We're
getting some crap in the chat because we're not talking about Jake. All right, let's talk about Jake.
He was more of an endurance singer, and now it's like, No, sorry. I'll move on. I was talking about. I meant Axel though.
It's fine.
I didn't. Wrong singer, but no,
it's
Axel
all
I think was more of an endurance singer before, and I'm hoping that's what it was. I'm hoping a lot of people in the Reddit forum where I went to, see what people thought about it right after the show. They said, "I hope it gets better." He seemed out of breath. Now these were people actually at the show that were close to the stage. I think the guy said he was 20 rows back. He said he seemed out of breath. So I'm hoping it's just getting in shape for the tour.
Yeah. It's just good seeing him.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see him.
Yeah. I would have gone had I been able to. I had a 3 hours before it happened babysitting or child kind of issue, so I couldn't go. But that's why I buy a ticket ahead of time, because I never know if I can always go or not. But there's more shows in this area though, so I'll try and get to one of them hopefully.
Priest tour's going pretty good. From what I hear, they're touring with Sabadon, I believe is how you pronounce their name. My kids are taking me to the show. They're Sabadon fans.
Cool.
They're going to see Sabadon. They're not
is that like a metal band?
They like Priest, but it's not their genre. I mean, they missed him by 3 decades, and so, but they're going for Priest, man. It's going to be so cool.
That's awesome.
I love seeing concerts with my kids. It's really cool.
Nice, dude.
That is cool. Yeah.
So
yeah.
What's the
what
show
are we talking about? Jake E. Lee?
Jake E. Lee.
Man.
The man.
I love
a
Jake
lot of
E.
bands. Bark at the Moon is one of my favorite
Let's
riffs, man. Love it.
Yes.
Look at that. That's the pick we're giving away, folks.
Oh, man.
I don't know if he's like the number one as far as underrated, but for me personally, he is my go-to when I always think of, and I have to delineate it by saying specifically like rock or hard rock guitar players, because I mean you can't compare like a straight ahead jazz bebop player with like a metal player. So I always like to go by genres, in general. But I think he's, either him or John 5. One of those two has to be the most underrated because they're both just insane.
John 5 is probably my favorite guitarist right now playing.
I mean, it might be John 5 because he's more versatile too. But
very good. He's so good. He's on another level.
Staying on the topic though, I mean, I think people forget like how crazy the riffs Jake E. Lee plays, and he plays it like slow and low, just running around.
Yeah, I mean, has got great ones, Yeah, great ones.
And for, I think all the guitar players in the chat, and I don't know if every single one of you that is a guitar player, but anyone who isn't, that doesn't realize too, Jake uses like akin to a Van Halen 1 sound. It's basically a Marshall all the way up. He's not using a ton of pedals, ton of delay, ton of gain. It's not a ton of preamp gain or anything or compression. He just plays that cleanly, and that's a tough.
He likes.
That's a tough type of amp to play, but when you play well, it sounds great.
He likes his Boss pedals, though. He does use overdrive and flanger a lot, but
yeah. But I mean, the overdrive, it's only pushing the amp.
He loves the P90. I was talking to Tony backstage before you got here, Tom, and I was looking at I was researching him a little bit, and a lot of the guitars he played, like in using Gibsons and stuff, a lot of them had P90s. SG Junior, that Les Paul, the ES335, they all had P90s in them. I mean, P90s have a great sound; they really do.
Yeah, but being a single coil too, you're gonna have a lot less output. So
I know, but with doing the riffs that he did and playing the way that he did, crazy what he could do.
Yeah.
I think if you can play with lower gain like that, it sounds so much cleaner. The only young guy I can think of now, and when I say young, he's younger than those guys, but not super young, is Phil X. I think Phil, what is he, 50 or 51 now? Not super young guy, but he plays with very low gain and almost always P90s. I mean, once in a while he'll play a humbucker, but most of the time it's, P90s. And it's clean, but man.
Phil X played with Def Leppard. Phil X.
Well, Phil X is now the
played with a bunch of
guitar player for Bon Jovi. He got hired permanently. So it's Phil X and John Shanks now.
All right.
John Shanks, man, another guy. Everyone thinks, he's just a producer. That guy rips on guitar.
That 08 pick is when he was with Enough's Enough. Yeah.
Quentin plays with low gain, swear. Awesome. Keith H says classical beats rock. Didn't you see Crossroads? I love classical, man. I just got some Dvorak and Haydn the other day.
Yeah. He played Didn't he play with Dio for a little bit? I don't even know if it got released. Jakey Lee. I know they wrote some stuff.
I never heard that.
I think he played when Dio left Sabbath and formed Dio. I think I saw somewhere that he played with him. But now I got to look because
I've never heard that.
I'm gonna look like a jackass if I can't find it now.
Well,
blah.
It's amazing how many guitar players played with a lot of different bands that we would have never even realized. Whether they were just trying out or whether they were being considered in for this or that.
Or
here we go.
How many rock and metal musicians will just go out on a country gig? I mean, look at the guest we had a couple of weeks ago. But like, there's a lot of drummers, bassists. Like, yes. I think it was the bassist from Korn has been out on like 2 or 3 country tours. Just like Korn wasn't touring, and he felt like going out and playing. It's not like you needed money, but wanted something to do, you know.
So in '82. Dio invited Lee to join his new solo band Dio. Lee accepted, though his time was short-lived. But there were rehearsals. Yeah, there were rehearsals with Lee and Dio, and the recordings are still out there. But it said that Dio wanted him to play simple block chords so it wouldn't trample on his vocals.
Right.
So
you can't control Jakey Lee and tell
you can't. That's probably why it didn't last.
That doesn't work.
When Jakey Lee was on Dave Friedman's Tone Talk show, he said, me and Ronnie.
Yeah.
He basically said I wanted to kick his ass. He was like, I was going to kick his, like, that was the drinking show when Jake was on.
That's a really good show, man.
In the hotel room in Vegas with his girlfriend sitting on the bed, like, just on her phone the whole time. That was the best show of Tone Talk. Best episode of Tone Talk.
That's funny.
You know.
That's good.
So what era of Jakey Lee is your favorite?
Ozzy. Yeah, I mean, I love Bark at the Moon, so that's for me. That's my favorite Jakey Lee part.
He did a 4-year stint with Ozzy, 83 to 87. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yep, that's pretty correct. Yeah, man. I said it before. I've seen him with Randy. I've seen him with Zach, and then I only saw him one time, but I saw him at the S Festival.
No Brad. And, no Brad Gillis. You didn't see Ozzy with Brad?
No, I've never seen him with Brad Gillis. Although I did see Night Ranger do some Ozzy tunes with Brad Gillis, so I've heard Brad Gillis do Ozzy. And you know what? When it comes to Brad Gillis with Ozzy, his input in Ozzy was massive.
Oh, he's great.
I really missed Brad. A lot of that when it was going on, and I've just recently re-educated myself. Brad Gillis, man, what an outstanding guitar player!
Oh, amazing,
monstrous. Very hard to play. I can't do Brad Gillis licks. I can't play Night Ranger songs worth a darn if I have to play. The rhythm I can play, but as far as Brad Gillis's lead work, good God, it's out of my league. Out of my league.
You know what I always find interesting though too is some way better guitar player than me. One of these teachers I had at school one time, like a visiting artist. He used to do actually the transcriptions for Cherry Lane Music and all those. Guy named Wolf Marshall. He still lives out in LA, I think. I don't know if you know, but he's done a lot of studio stuff and everything. But really nice guy. I knew him as the guy with the big hair and the back of the Cherry Lane, or tab books and stuff as a kid. He would always be there. But he's like just a laid back guy now, and he actually plays more jazz and stuff now. But I'm talking to him, and he's talking about all these guys in LA, and he's talking about transcribing stuff. And I bring it up because you're talking about transcribing Jakey Lee stuff. And he said, that's what was nice about being in LA, because I got a hold of someone that knew him, and I got a hold of him, and we could get, try to get a transcription correct, but I could never nail him down to get it right. And he goes, I know I still don't have it right the way that Jake finally showed himself exactly how he played it. And he goes, I wish I could go back and change it because I never got it right. But our times conflicted. We couldn't get together. But he goes, guys like Steve Vai or Jakey Lee, goes, those weird parts, I would say, can I sit down for an hour and just get these right, and we'll compensate you for your time. We'll pay you $5,000 or whatever percentage of what we sell, however many books, you know. And he said I could never nail him down. He was always, even if he wasn't touring with someone or with Ozzy, he wanted to do a gig here, a gig there. He just wanted to play. He didn't care about the money, didn't care about any of it. He just wanted to play. He's like, I don't care, man. Just money's not right with the promoter. I don't know if we're gonna get paid. I don't care. Just get on the freaking stage. Let's go. Like he truly was like, you know, like an old jazz musician that would often go to the clubs and play for free, like a jam night, not knowing if they would even get paid, and they would often just be ordering for tips. You know, so he kind of has that old school kind of flame to him. Yeah. You know, I love the guy.
Jake did a lot of. I was just reading too. Jake did a lot of musical tribute stuff. Like Queen, AC/DC, Rush, Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, and Metallica in the 90s, late 90s. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool. Very cool.
What are you holding there, Brandon?
I'm blurry. Oh,
look at that.
I was just flicking around on this.
That thing is awesome.
It's the fretless one with the PB Wolfgang headstock.
That thing is awesome. The tone is wonderful. Guys in the chat, he was playing this thing for about 15 minutes before we came on here. And let me just tell you, he gets stage fright, I think, because
I do. I don't like it.
He was just laying it down. Like that.
All right, it's enough of that.
I love it anymore.
I love that. It loves fuzz, man. Really
Brendan, you get exactly what I get, and someone told me it's called the red light jitters. As soon as you know you're on air, or you know that someone's listening or watching, it does. I'm the same way, so I'm not tearing you apart with this. It literally does something different in your head. I can't do it. Like a friend of mine recorded me, and he didn't tell me he was. I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, that wasn't me playing. He's like, yeah, you relaxed and played. I'm like, oh, usually when someone else is playing there, I freeze up.
I've always. The weird thing is when I'm acting, I'm fine. I can do that all day.
Wow.
That doesn't bother me. This, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
But you know what it is? It's probably your level of adeptness on either one is not probably any less. It's just your perception of it. Because I do that to myself,
But I know everybody in the chat and all three of you guys just can play, But
no one's judging you. I thought.
I know they're not. No, I know that. I know that for a fact they're not, and that's why I love this community, because you could suck as bad as I do. People still like your stuff.
But I will second what Charles said, since no one else can see what we saw off air, that you were just ripping it up for like 5 minutes while having a conversation, just playing in the background, having a conversation with us.
Yeah, but
because Charles, you said, who's playing? And Brendan was like, oh, that's me playing. His hands were like off the things, like, oh, that's me playing.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was
so great, man.
It was really cool, man.
Good stuff. Do you make any more of those, Brendan? Or are they all spoken for? Or?
I got 2 left.
Cool.
This one, which is the fretless one, and this other one.
They're both really nice. I like the headstock on the one in your left hand, Brendan, a little more.
This one?
Oh,
yeah, show us that one.
I love that one.
Yeah,
I love the natural striping through the wood too.
Yeah, I love these necks. It's oak.
That's cool.
And the striping is amazing. And I'm only using like stain, just regular stain.
Oh wow!
It's nothing crazy. I sand the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And then just use a nice stain. I think it's either gun style.
I have to ask you, the Wolfgang headstock, did you use software to do that, or did you
No, I printed out. Actually, I printed out
because it looks like a miniature of exactly the same shape. That's why I'm wondering if you just took the original and shrunk it down. I'm like,
you know what I did, Tom? I looked up the picture on the screen.
Okay.
And traced out a piece of paper on it, and then
it
looks
spot on.
I just put that on the wood.
Template. There you go.
put it on the wood and cut it out and sanded it. So
I'm not gonna say because I wouldn't give up their secret, but I was with someone once who used to work with Jim. A buddy of mine used to work with Jim Tyler in California, making Tyler guitars, and people always wanted to know how they did their drip finishes. So he explained it to me one day, and I went, "Oh my God, that's so simple." He's like, "But you can't. No one does it that way."
Yeah.
And at the time, this was 1996, and no one did drip finishes that way. People just had not thought about it, but it was so simple how they did it.
Well, it's like those guys that do the.
You gotta keep your mouth shut. I'm like, all right.
You know, when they dip them too. Is that what you're talking about, or the different drip?
No, drip is totally different. Drip is literally. I'm not, I'll tell you off the air, but it's a way that you change the formulation of the paint such that you get it to drip, but after the fact, you can still sand and level it. So I know you've done enough work that from that you could probably guess what they do.
I don't know. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't usually paint them. That's the thing.
Okay.
Except for those.
Yeah.
those were my first try at painting, and I was pretty pleased with it.
Yeah.
Lenny unboxed hers last week, maybe. So she's happy. I'm happy that she's happy.
I paint only well enough to be dangerous.
His links are down below in the show description.
So talking about Jakey Lee.
Yes.
I had some interaction with him.
I'm sure you got some stories, Charles. You have to have some.
I got some. I can't really tell, but I got some that I can. A couple. It's interesting. My connection to Jake was not direct. It was slightly indirect. Many times I'd be doing my job, and he'd come by. He'd be there. He's older. See, Jake is I think Jake was born in, I believe, he had to be at least 2 years older than Robin. So I'm believing he was 57 probably when he was born. Yeah, because Robin was born in 59. I was born in 61.
57. February 15th.
57? Okay, so he was a little older. So when I was 20, he was a 24 or 25-year-old.
Robin Crosby, right? You're talking about Robin Crosby.
Yeah, and he carried himself.
Welcome, Dan.
He was such a rocker, you guys. He would come through, and he was always dressed like a rock star. He always had the leather, and he always had the leather pants and denim, and it was always tight denim with boots, and he was such a fucking badass, and he had a reputation. Everyone knew who he was. And so my interaction with him was really not I would say hello to him, but I would hear about things that were going on in Ratt. See, he played in Ratt. He was in Ratt. Okay, not Mickey. Right. I'm talking about in Ratt. Yep. And the exact month I'm a little sketchy on, but I'll just tell the story. Robin was talking with me one time, and he was talking about Jake was in Ratt, and he was playing guitar with Jake in Ratt, and he wasn't happy. Okay, I actually told this story, I think, on Hack's channel, but I'll give you a little different version of it. Robin wasn't happy. Jake is a lone guitar player. He has a reputation of being the guitar player. He's the star. He's the guy who does the riffs. It's been my experience that he doesn't interact really great with other guitar players in his band playing because he wants to showcase his own ability. Sure. That being said, and he has a track record proving that, Robin was not happy. It was the most depressed I'd ever seen him. I knew Robin pretty good for about 3 to 4 years. Mm-hmm. And it was the most depressed I'd seen him at that time. And he was voicing his disappointment to Steven. Evidently, his disappointment was received and understood, because it ended up out, and it was only 6 to 8 weeks, guys, that Jake was in Ratt. I've heard stories told about it where it was 3 months. It was about 2 months, maybe less. Wow. And he bailed out of Ratt again. Now, it's my opinion, and it's just my opinion, that he would not have lasted in Ratt the band if it never transpired into Warren. Robin Crosby was a faithful soldier to that band. He took a lot of crap, and he was willing to be in the shadows for a period of time. I mean, he put up with it, and then he got to the point where he was like, man, I'm not he wasn't even progressing as a guitar player, and he was so good. I told a story. I was sitting in a dressing room in Gazzari's. I was in Gazzari's one night, and I was playing on a guitar, and Robin was there, and I was real proud of myself because I was pulling off some major chords. I played an A and a G just perfectly, and a D. I didn't know how to play guitar at that time. And I was all proud of myself. And Robin says, here, Chuck, let me show you something. He picks a guitar up and throws it up on his knee and flawlessly pulls off Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas.
Oh, nice.
He plays about a minute of it straight. And all the great parts he played. And he hands the guitar back to me, and we were laughing about it. I didn't touch another guitar for 10 more freaking years, literally. But he was so good. He was such a good guitar player. And I didn't like the fact he didn't get along with Jake. As a fan and as a friend, I wanted him to be happy, and I wanted those guys to be, I wanted their dreams to come true, basically, because they weren't rock stars at that time. They were just on the verge of having a hope, of a wish, of a dream. That's pretty much what it was. And but Jake left Ratt. And the thing about the 81, 82, 83, the pendulum of bands and how things could have gone different ways is just amazing to me. George Lynch was the guitar player for Ozzy at that time. He had the job. It was his job. And this was just before Jake. And I hadn't heard about him trying out for Dio. I didn't even hear that, but he was out and trying out for bands. And if he hadn't left Ratt, the music we'd have gotten from Ratt would have probably been a whole lot more like what we had heard in Red Dragon Cartel or Badlands, a combination of that, because Jake would have been putting out his influence on the band, and we would have never heard Warren's. And they all knew each other. Those guys all grew up in La Jolla, down in San Diego. Jake was, I think, a Navy son of a Navy. His dad was in the Navy, and so they moved a lot. Yeah. And just the simple fact that Jakey Lee, Warren DeMartini, Stephen Piercy, and Robin Crosby all grew up within 15, 20 miles of each other. They used to watch each other. They all knew about each other in very young ages, high school, junior high school. I think Warren DeMartini was 18 in 1982. So when Ratt took off, this kid was a child. Okay.
Yeah. They're both from the central Pennsylvania area too. Richie Kotzen and Jakey Lee are both from not too far from me. Many a time I've been at bars and clubs in Harrisburg, and I've seen a 2:30 in the morning Jakey Lee, and he's just like, "What's up, boys? Anyone need a beer?" Like he'll just buy you a beer. That's super cool. Like everyone always busts on him like he's got a drinking issue. And I don't get it because I've never seen him be rude or belligerent to someone. He might have needed help home because he imbibed too much, but he was never an asshole about it when I saw him.
There's some happy drunks out there.
So I just want to dispel a rumor that he's this mean, angry person because of it. I have a lot of problems. I have health issues too. I'm not cool with people judging someone else because of their health issue. Sure. In the same way that, you're going to judge Eddie Van Halen because he had a health issue.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you're not going to talk about, another musician that happens to be a pedophile and they get a pass. Well, so it's like, let's kind of play an equal playing field and just say everyone's got their demons. Maybe we can appreciate the musician and not realize that maybe to be that musician, it takes a really dark life. Maybe they don't, no one wants to be that person, you know what I mean? But he was nothing but a gentleman when I saw him, and it would be
Same here. I've seen him drinking, I've seen him not. and he was always polite. He always had manners.
Well,
I never saw him show his ass, not
He
once.
had one dude, fairly big dude, kind of hung with him for the night, and there was one guy kind of was getting in his face, and the guy literally was looking for him to throw a punch so he could get some money.
Yeah.
And this dude stepped in. The guy's hand was the size of like a baseball mitt. He goes, "You need to get away from Jake."
Yeah.
And the guy backed off. Other than that,
but
and,
you know, if he didn't leave Ratt, we wouldn't have had Bark at the Moon and the Ultimate Sin.
We wouldn't have had all that on. And guys, we wouldn't have had Dawkins. We wouldn't have had Dawkins. And I'm as big of Dawkins fan as there is. I love George Lynch, and I'm so glad he left Ozzy. I'm glad he left Ozzy.
You like Don's hat, right? That's why.
I love Don. I love Don. I remember Don when I was just 20 years old, and there was no George Lynch in his life at that time, and he was even he was a front man playing guitar in his band, but he was known on the Strip. He was known in Hollywood. He was known in California. He had done some national tours at that time. He was known in clubs, and he was an absolute gentleman. He sang he didn't have the same kind of, like I talk about, like a Kevin Dubrow. He didn't have a Kevin Dubrow pipes. He didn't have his voice, but the voice he had was really, really, really good.
It's an iconic voice. Definitely is.
It's really good. And his music was more melodic than I was used to. It was a little darker. His love songs weren't sweet. They were dark and more mysterious. It was new.
Oh, man. He had a song in Nightmare on Elm Street. How do you beat that?
Yeah, no kidding. And so,
Dream Warrior is awesome.
But we wouldn't have had Dawkins like we know it, which is just, if you don't know something, but when you look back at it now, it's like you're saying, geez, I wouldn't want that to happen. And it all of it, maybe not all of it, but it's certainly in that line, came from Robin Crosby stepping up and saying, I want to play guitar. I don't want to just play rhythm guitar. And it literally, that's exactly how it happened. Now, I'll say this. It was about 3 months later, maybe 4 months later, and Warren was getting involved in Ratt. He was coming into his time. And it didn't just take off bang. It happened over just, they worked into it. And Robin went from being depressed and upset with his situation to being so flippant optimistic about his future. I mean, optimistic. Yeah. It's a good thing that he voiced. It's a good thing that Jake left, because we wouldn't have got what we got 4 years in Ozzy. He put out Ultimate Sin.
Ultimate Sin, Bark the Moon.
I love that song. That may be one of my favorite Ozzy songs.
Yeah.
Just about.
Let me say this. We all hear about Bark at the Moon, but I think Ultimate Sin is a better record.
Shot in the Dark is a great tune.
Well, he did a song with Ozzy called Spiders in the Night.
Right.
And it's an obscure song. It's not one of their main. And that's one of my favorite songs.
I mean, it is a great
Wonderful.
album.
Jake's guitar work is outstanding in that song.
Yeah, it's not one of, the most popular ones, but they're all great. I mean, I don't know. They're all great, but the riffs are just amazing on Bark at the Moon. Yes, Tom, do you have a question, sir? Yeah, you're on mute.
I had to raise my hand because this is completely off topic, but you guys, what you were talking about, I was researching to look up the age thing. And so I pulled up Ozzy Osbourne to look at those albums under Jakey Lee. And I just realized for the first time in my life now, hand to the Bible, honest truth, that I share a birthday with Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, nice.
It's not the same year. He's 28 years older than me, but
there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
He'll be 73. This December 3rd, he'll be 73, and I'll be 45.
You never knew that.
I never knew that. 3rd of December, John Michael Osbourne.
Cool.
That's wild. Sorry, I didn't mean to off track.
No.
It blew my head. My mom has Sammy Hagar's birthday, October 13th.
Excellent.
I have Will Smith's birthday, September 25th. We're the same age too. So I think we were born 15 minutes apart.
I remember all my siblings'
Brother.
birthdays from historical dates. Like my sister was born on September 17th, which was signing of the Constitution, 1787.
Tony, did you ever see Jakey Lee play?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
With Ozzy.
With Ozzy?
Couple
I'm jealous.
times. Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Definitely jealous.
I would like to sometimes go back in time and see some of these bands that I haven't seen. You know,
Yeah.
A music-only time machine. I'll take it.
I mean, music is a time machine. I've said it before, but I mean, if you could actually go back.
But I mean, if it was like the portal only went to the concert, if you stepped
yeah.
outside, you immediately came home, I would take it. I'm like
like a Bill and Ted's phone booth.
Like even if you can't interact, like, because that's the big thing with time travel is messing stuff up. You know, from Back to the Future. If you
I just want to
believe
watch it. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Just go back and watch, but you can't observe. You're there kind of as an entity, you know, floating around.
The Back in Time app for my phone. That would be so cool.
Yeah, right.
It's not theoretically impossible, is it, Brendan?
I don't know. There's definitely some theories out there.
I'm guessing from like
Neil deGrasse Tyson and all those guys with black
unless
holes.
Charles or Tony or my other personality is some sort of like engineer we don't know about. I figured you'd probably be the one that would know that kind of mathy science question the best.
Yeah,
I read a lot of astrophysics books just because
I'm from the future.
Trying to get smart.
I am from the future. You didn't know that.
I love the videos though. The people that say they're from the future and they're actually not Jakey Lee. See, I fit it in the sentence.
Maybe he is from the future. I don't know.
So Tony, like,
know.
what was the experience of seeing him with Ozzy? Like, what was the crowd like? What was he like?
It was great. It was at that time. It was when Ozzy was at his peak of the Ultimate Sin. Yeah, I remember they began the show and it's this chair with Ozzy comes down, Jake and the bass player up on the risers, and Metallica opened up that show in '86. Yeah.
BC Rich is talking about tachyons appearing to move backwards in time. Well, yeah, but there's a lot of light too, so we're not going to get to that deep conversation because that can take hours. We've already had it, so there you go. Circle back around. Yep.
I think that Jake, though, of the guitar players Ozzy's had, I think Jake is a shoe-in number 2
behind Randy.
Yeah,
I put in the chat Randy, Jake, and then Zach, because I mean Zach's iconic. His bends, just they're amazing.
Oh yeah.
You can always pick them out, but it's
whether you like him or not, they're definitely him. I happen to like him, but
I like him too. A lot of people don't, but I like him, and it's just he's a funny guy. So, but
it's kind of like putting your thumbprint on it. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's supposed to look like you.
Right.
Like I remember the day, or not the day, but maybe the month that I started just saying, you know what, I'm not going to try and like. I want to say probably 19 or 20 years old, that old. And I was like, I'm never going to be Eddie Van Halen, so I got to stop trying to be him. But I'll always love that. But that's the day I started playing like myself. And when I play like myself, it sounds nothing like Eddie Van Halen. But then I'll just sit there and watch TV and try and play Van Halen because I love it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's nice to pay homage or homage or whatever you say to somebody. But yeah, you got to be yourself.
But knowing that you're going to be yourself and not trying to be that is so freeing. Yeah. And I think that's what I love about players like him. That like. It's polarizing. People love it or hate it, but people that love it are really going to love it, and it's just unique, and that's what I love about it. Even if I don't personally like it, I enjoy the fact that it's, it is unique and it's not a facsimile of something else.
Quentin says Zach's great, but he looks like he'd have really bad BO. I don't know, man. I saw a couple interviews with him, and I think Sharon. It might have been one of the. Might have been a roast of Ozzy or one of them, and Zach was there. And
He
Sharon's
just
like,
always looks sweaty to me.
you smell really good. It's the beard, it's the long ass beard, but yeah, she said, he smells really
long
good.
hair,
Yeah.
But
homage,
young,
Simon.
skinny,
Thank you.
Young skinny Zach next to like jacked up Zach. It's like, get bored on tour. What are you gonna do? Might as well lift weights. So after 20 years of touring,
He said I said it right the first time, homage, because he had a French girlfriend. So
I did take
French in middle school. Go ahead.
John Petrucci went from being uber skinny on the first album, and now he's like,
yeah, but he's got a cool sister that plays drums in Vixen.
Yeah. So. No,
I like
Tony.
Petrucci. Tony kind of likes her a little.
I really like John Petrucci, but I just thought that was funny.
Yeah,
he was thinner than me, like when he was 19, 20, when he was they did that first album before Images and Words.
I mean, we all put on weight, right? You don't.
But I mean, he just got like jacked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did the opposite of him. I used to be much bigger, and then I just lost all my muscle mass.
I mean, there's some YouTube guitarists that are super jacked.
Oh, that Max guy.
Not even. There's guys even bigger than him.
Max. I who the most jacked is.
There's
a guy that's the WCW or WWE, whatever guy. There's a professional wrestler who's also a guitar player.
Oh, okay.
He literally will put a weight like he's holding a giant thing of weight, but he'll play like Metallica or Anthrax riffs or stuff while he's got this weight strapped to his body. He'll do squat. Oh, that's what he did. He had a shoulder rack. It wasn't across. It was straight across the shoulder rack, and he had it on a machine. And he's bending down playing Master of Puppets while doing squats. And he's squatting like 300 or 400 pounds. You got to check him out. He's amazing. But he seems like a great guy. His daughter will come in the video. He's like, "Hey, sweetie, what's going on?" And he's like enormous. What the hell's his name? He's he's pretty popular. I guess he's a WWE guy.
Tyler Thomas.
Tyler, what's going on, bro?
But he'll post this stuff. If you see a guy like 300 and some pounds jacked playing Metallica, how can you not be motivated? And he's doing squats at the same time, it's like 7 a.m.
He might
be
the kind of stuff I watch to get my day going. Yeah.
Speaking of Tyler.
Later, Simon.
Take care, Simon.
Yeah. So Mr. Tyler was at the Lawrence, Kansas opening night Wolfgang show and scored these guitar picks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So cool.
He
That's
was
awesome.
on last week's episode of Halenville Live Sundays. Yeah. Nice to see you, Tyler.
Hey, Brian Spalding.
Be cool, bro.
Cool. Yeah, so Tom, Simon said he wants to come on the show.
Awesome.
So we should definitely have him on. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
come and chat with us.
Cool. Very cool.
Absolutely.
I want a lesson.
Cool.
I want a guitar lesson.
Yeah.
I'll have to see. Maybe when we talk to him, I'll have to see if he does Skype or whatever. When I saw him
what we'll do, Tom, is we'll get him to show us stuff, but we won't tell him that he's giving us a lesson, and we'll just get a good 10, 15 minutes out of him. He'll never know.
You want to hear a good story? So I went to go see the guitar player. I don't know if you guys are into him or if you know him, a guitar player named Charlie Hunter. He plays an 8-string guitar, but it's not 8-string as in a metal guitar. It's 5 guitar strings, but instead of a low E, he has 3 bass strings. He's a jazz player.
Okay.
But he's played with all kinds of different, jazz and blues and some rock musicians. But he'll do covers, he'll do covers of Primus tunes, but he does them in a jazz, kind of with jazz vernacular, changes the chord progressions and stuff. But it's very cool. He did, I'm not a big Nirvana fan, but he did the Nirvana song "Come As You Are," except he did it in 6/8. So it's like, dun, 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 dun. That kind of cool stuff. So I go to see him live. It was when I was living in London, and I saw him at what's the famous place that Jeff Beck did? Ronnie Scott's. Ronnie Scott. So I'm talking to him afterwards because most people go to Ronnie Scott's there. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people go there just to eat dinner because it's a nice place. It's a dinner club place, and they don't really care that it's Jeff Beck or whoever. It's just music to them in the background. A lot of wealthy Londoners, right? So I go in, pay the bare minimum, get a small drink, whatever the 10 pounds or whatever the minimum.
Yeah.
It's like $15 at the time. Most of the money I probably had in my pocket just to see him because that's included, you know. And they're kind of like, you're not. So to get to my point, afterwards I talked to him and I go, so, you know, I'm asking him all this stuff, and he looks at me and he has like this smirk on his face, and he's kind of like a short beard, like nice hair, and he goes, you know that I do lessons, right? And then he goes, no, man, I'm just kidding. You can ask me any question you want. But he waited for like 3 or 4 seconds, left me hang, and I was like, well, I didn't mean, and he goes, no, man, I'm just kidding. He's like, what do you want to ask me? He sat down for like 20 minutes. He asked me questions. He gets a napkin out. He's just showing me a diagram.
That's
like, how are you
That's cool.
guitar? Because he goes E-A-G-D-A, but I couldn't remember whatever the bass strings were. And that's what I assumed it was. And so I was asking him how he tuned it. And he plays a lot of chordal harmony, so he can play it across one fret and then use like the other fingers to do melodies on top. So, but yeah, he goes, you know, I give lessons, right?
That's funny.
I was just about to be like, I'm not trying to get a free lesson, you know. No, I'm just messing with you, man.
That's great, man. That's
Craziness. Oh, man.
Quentin drove
Hey,
by
Tony,
Jim once.
should we give away a pick, Tony? What do you think?
Yeah.
Is it pick giveaway time? Giveaway time.
Now, whoever wins, Charles will DM you his address where he would like it sent, and then you can.
Thank you. Thank you.
We discussed it backstage, right, Charles?
Yeah, he'll trade you the amp stack behind him for the pick.
Yeah, right.
We're just dealing away all Charles.
If that's what he's
I want to
I'm
start
going out in
playing
the chat to win
every
it.
other week so that I have a chance to be in the chat and win a pick.
Yeah, but you can't now. You're part of the show. You're done. You're done, buddy.
This is brutal.
Yeah, but you get to hang out with us. Isn't that better?
It's cool. It's cool. There is a
It's
trade.
cool, but it's cool, but it's not.
See, look
better
at
to
that
have
pick, guys. Jeez,
I
man.
got red or orange.
I'm going to say orange, but Tony's probably going to say red. So
It looks orange to me, but I'm going to guess he says red because when he put his hand over it, the shadow changed the color of it pretty drastically.
So I get it now. Charles would rather have a pick than talk to us. That's okay, Charles.
Well, I said every other week, Brendan. I was just mixing things up, you know.
It's all good, brother. You know I'm messing with you.
It's always being in the chat from time to time.
Yeah. You got even weeks, I got odd weeks, right?
All right, so we're going to ask you guys one question about Jake E. Lee. So stand by for that. But so in the meantime, a reminder, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, Halenville Live will continue to cover the shows that Wolfgang did this week. And it's been a number of them. And let's see what else. So, all right. So next week on Halenville Live, August the 15th, we're going to look at the Hot for Teacher video set. One of the actresses in this video, Lori Tucker, is going to be with us. And that is her right there. And that is
cool
her
show.
right there.
Nice.
Yeah. So she'll be on board.
Very cool.
Yeah, she's a great girl, man.
We'll talk about the Hot for Teacher video set. And that's next week on the 15th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
No, not Jessica Alba, Quentin.
All right, kids.
That's his answer to everything.
It's not a Jessica Alba pick. Jake E. Lee. Not Jessica, Jake. says Lee
All
on the
right.
bottom, not Alba.
I'm going to keep this screen up here, and I'm
Love
going to
that.
show this question. So, kids in the chat,
Good luck, chat.
Get those
Good
fingers
luck.
ready.
ready
Hold your
to
fingers up.
type.
Get them fingers ready.
This is what we are playing for here. Very easy question.
If you're a fan, you'll know it.
If you're a fan, you will know it. All
So
right.
you type quick.
If you can breathe, you're gonna know it.
First answer we see is our winner. Here we
Good luck, you
go.
guys.
In 1982, Ozzy was torn between Jakey Lee and what other famous guitarist to replace Brad Gillis? Ultimately, Jake got that
You got
job.
this, guys.
What other guitarist was in the
Quentin
running?
James says Lynch.
Quentin.
Quentin.
I see Quentin
Just
for the win.
barely.
Just barely
Followed by
beating out
like
Hack.
Tom. Yep, followed by Hack, like immediately after him. Hack.
Last says Night Ranger guy.
There it is.
There you go.
Nice.
Quentin, man. Awesome.
Oh dear Lord. Good job,
Man,
Pop.
Quentin is on a roll.
Quentin.
He's on a roll.
He is.
That is awesome.
Way
Good job,
to go,
Quentin.
Quentin.
Good job, man.
Nice.
He won
Congratulations,
the
Quentin.
Nuno pick a week or two ago.
So give me your
That's
address,
so cool.
Charles. Give me your address.
Excellent.
So,
Thank you, Quentin. I appreciate
you
it.
didn't write George. Now we're getting technical here, Hack. Come on. Oh, man. I know. But yes, that was the correct answer. And we kind of alluded to it a little bit. But it's all good. Sometimes we do.
You didn't write George.
He didn't. He typed lunch. Oh, that's hilarious. That's awesome.
Oh man.
All right.
Very nice.
All right.
Congrats, Quentin.
Hey guys, Hacks here. Hacks just put a new song up. It's a really great tune, you guys. You need to go check it out. Great song.
We'll check it out.
And Lenny Lou says, "Go Quentin James Emmett and Bottom Todd." Congrats.
Bottom Todd. Ooh, that's cool. The Red Dragon. That's cool.
Oh,
pick.
nice.
I love that.
That's a great pick.
That really is a great pick.
Is that gold or yellow?
Looks like gold.
I can't tell.
It's gold.
Very
Not
cool.
because the screen, I mean because of my eyes. Oh, that's cool.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Oh,
there you
that
go.
looks cool.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, that's a rare pick.
That really is. That looks kind of metallic almost.
I can't. Yeah, is that gold or yellow?
Wow.
It's like
It looks almost like a
color.
golden metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen one like that.
I haven't.
That's cool. I
That is-
like
that
that.
is
I
a
like the
cool
red on
logo.
white.
I like that logo too.
Brendan, have you seen his all red Friedman full stacks? They're so badass.
No, I have
They're
not.
cool.
I think they only made like, I think he made like 50 of them. And because also in red collector's item, and there's so
Yeah.
many like Jakey Lee fans that people don't know about that, you know, have the money to buy those. And they sold out, he said, in like a couple hours.
Wow.
You know? And Jake was like, I just want, so I have enough for me and backups for me. And that's it. Like he just, you know, that's why he just did a limited run. But he said it's basically like a super lead, just kind of made with small tweaks to bulletproof it for the road.
Right.
Because he literally just turns them almost all the way up. He said he puts them on like 8 and just goes for it.
I still rate my Z's like that, and my 7s I cross them from French
Yeah.
class, but I don't know
Yeah.
why. I still do it, and I'm not.
I
Oh,
like
you
that
put a
too.
line through your 7s, Brendan?
I do. My
I do the
7s
same
and-
thing. I
and
do
my-
the same
and my
exact
Z's.
thing, man.
Yep, Z and 7. I've done it probably since 6th grade, so it's funny, but
Well, but it was also originally done so that the Z and the I don't get confused, a capital Z and a capital I, in case it's handwritten and the line is done wrong. My grandfather used to write like they did like this. it was print, but it was very blocky and it would fit in perfectly. You can write really small that way. And he would do it like that. But if you, all the same thing with a 7, because he would do old school ones have a hook on them.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't put the line through it, people think that 7 without a line through it's a 1. Like in England, if you look at the old logs in Europe, all the 1s have a hook on the top.
Right.
You
I have
know?
horrendous penmanship, so.
Well, I do too. That's why I always put the line through.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise I don't know if it's a 1 or a 7. You know, because I might have just put a 1 down that might have curved a little. Oh, is it a 1 or a 7? You know? I like that one on the far right.
Paramutant said that Badlands era picks go for about $80.
Wow.
That's
supply and demand, I guess. Not that many of them, I guess.
I guess not. There he is.
Oh, you know what? Wait, new information coming in R2, R3. Lucky Net said Quentin cheated. He actually used 2 hands.
But he probably wasn't wearing pants, so he still wins.
Oh, no comment. We all lose there.
What's going on, R2, R3? Wow. That's fun.
Brian Spaulding meant George Lynch's dad.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I still have your address, Quentin. I will mail you this Jakey Lee guitar pick out
Quentin.
on Monday morning, dude.
She said she'll be there.
There it looks red. On the other camera, it looks orange.
She said she'll be there, and we still have your address. She'll be there in 20 to 30 minutes, and her name is Tanya. That's the name she gave us. All right.
That's a great pick, Quentin, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, nice. Thanks.
Have you guys ever? Let me just give you a real quick off-topic one. You guys ever watch those old Mafia guys that now have like gotten out of prison? Now they're all trying to make money on YouTube. It's like John Elite, or how do you ever say his last name? Oh, the Hitman, the old Hitman. You know.
Dwight
You know
Baker.
Cool. Their videos
You know
are
what I watched this
now.
afternoon?
Yeah.
They're
Speaking
really
of
good
that,
YouTube channels though. But
What'd you watch, T?
Goodfellas.
Did you really?
oh, that's like one of my favorite, like top 5 movies all time.
Timeless movie. That's a great movie.
So anyway, there was one of these guys, you know, they're interviewing all these people. So I think it was Michael Frances. He was doing Mike Tyson's show. It's called Hot Boxing. Mike Tyson just sits there and smokes weed the whole show. And because it's not sponsored by anyone except YouTube, and they don't show that on camera, that like that part of it, they can't do anything. He owns all of it, so they just, you know, and he has this giant guy, like Eastern European guy, on with him. There's like long hair, but he's like super muscular. That part's very weird. But anyway, Michael Francis is on, you know, talking about sending Quentin a party favor. And he said they used to do that if one of their buddies was laid up because he got like shot in the leg when someone was trying to assassinate him, or like, you know, if he just got beat up by someone or whatever, they would send a lady over to like his house or his apartment or whatever and just prepay for all of it and say, Cassandra will be showing up in 20. What do you mean she'll be showing up in 20 minutes? Yes, she'll be showing up in 20 minutes, so you should probably get ready. All right, have fun. It's like they used to do that all the time, as much to be nice to them as to like mess with them. Because the guy would be like there laying up, his arms hurting him, and he's like, oh gosh, come here in 20 minutes. I thought that was a good one, though.
That's cool.
Love it.
I guess, you know, when a Mafia hitman plays a practical joke on you, you got to just kind of take it and not complain, right?
I guess.
Jeez.
I guess.
They're fun to watch. So if you're bored and you can't fall asleep or something.
Well, there's like mob wives or mob something on. They have them on some of the cable channels that are.
Well, this isn't like one of those quasi reality. This is literally just an interview with the guy. The one dude is straight up. He's like, he got convicted for 2 murders, but he admitted to being involved in like 26 murders. And it was crazy because he said you have some guys that love to do it, that love it, and they're the guys that you know are psychopaths. And then you have guys like Sammy the Bull. Sammy the Bull would throw up before and after every time, and he hated it. But you knew that if you didn't go do that, you were next.
Yeah.
So it was survival at that point. You know, it was, you know, when you're too far in the hole, it's too late. You know.
Some of those stories that those guys
you
tell.
cook your lobster slowly, and you never know you're boiling, right?
Yeah.
So you're in, you know, and it's too late. It's exactly what happens to all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
On that note,
On that note, boys and girls.
congratulations, Quentin.
Yes.
Quentin, man, he's on a roll, you guys. I'm expecting 3 for 3, Quentin. I'm just throwing it out there.
Turkey strike.
You did it,
Didn't
dude.
get the hat trick.
You did it. I'm gonna have to tighten up on these questions around
I
here.
know.
You're going to have to limit some winners here.
Nah,
I know we would never do that.
would never do that.
I
You
know.
can win
You know, when I was
that
telling
every
that
week.
story, I didn't even realize I was
never
given the answer.
Yeah, I know. I
didn't even think about it, guys.
but
I'm sorry. I was
No, it's good.
You
No,
know,
it's good because if you
I've
pay
done that
attention, then
before.
you know.
I've done that a couple of times, Charles.
There's,
Not
I'm not going to say what show because it's their thing, but there's a regular show I watch it's pretty big. I mean, it's like 500,000 or 1 million subscribers, but it's not a really small channel. But you can tell it's pretty obvious that they pepper in the question they ask in the show every time. But I think it's kind of cool in that way, even though it seems weird because it seems contrived. Because if you pay attention, you might not know about whatever they're talking about. It's not a guitar channel. It has to do, with a completely different subject, But if you pay attention, you could know nothing about that subject. But if you paid attention to that episode that night, you could still win.
Yeah.
That's how it is here. A lot of
Exactly.
times, if you pay
Yeah.
attention,
So it's good.
we
It's
give
good that you said,
away
I
the
think.
answer along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it on radio stations all the time. They have like listener of the day, and if you say, if you've been listening, we'll ask you a question if you know it.
But I mean, to think that that's not peppered in would be like, Charles, someone coming to you and saying, I know for sure that at a concert when they call someone out in the audience, that's always authentic. And you'd be like, dude, I worked the job. Trust me. It's probably 99.9% of the time not authentic.
Some of those things are, a lot of those are amazing.
But, the crowd enjoys it. They love it,
I mean, the one I like that I've been seeing a lot of, it was, I don't know how many years old it is, but when the Foo Fighters brought up that guy that had the Kiss makeup on,
Oh
big monkey
Kiss guy.
wrench.
Kiss
That dude was
guy.
amazing. Kiss
Yeah.
guy. He
Kiss
brought
guy.
his own effing pick, and he just starts playing, running around.
I forgot about that, man.
I had the stick moves and
They've done it.
everything.
I've seen them do that. I've seen Green Day do it. A bunch of people have done it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like, could you
That's
play?
cool.
Can you play? You
too.
better be sure. Don't mess this up. And then he brings it up, and the kid is wailing on the guitar. Most of the time, they just give him the guitar at the end.
This
Like, yeah,
Kiss guy, though, he brought a little sign that says, "Let me play monkey wrench."
Right.
And he held it up the whole night. And Dave Grohl says, I've had to look at this motherfucker all night
All
and
day.
this goddamn sign.
He's like, you better know how to play this. He goes, it's a lot of fun, And it was. He kicked ass.
Don't shit your pants in front of your home crowd.
There you go.
He kicked its ass, though. He did. He really did.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He did good.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
By the way, guys, I also was noticing in the chat, I haven't seen Sandra tonight, and I haven't seen her doing what she normally does in the chat,
Sandra.
and she is sadly missed the hell out of Sandra. I haven't seen much of her lately,
Sandra,
and
where
okay,
are you?
Sure, she's chilling, resting, doing something something fun.
Sandra, I hope everything's cool.
We'll touch base with her shortly. She'll be good. She'll be back. Podcast is a great group of dudes and ladies. Well, thank you, Mike Johnson. We love that you're here. We love that all you guys are here.
What's going on, Mike?
Makes our Saturday even more awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the best part of my weekend.
Yeah. Because of dudes like Mike Johnson.
That's exactly right.
Everybody
and
in the chat.
James and
That's
Guitar Hack and Lenny Lou and Music Therapy Laz and Christopher Live Sawa and Tyler Thomas. Blackjack Guitar Nut. Yeah, dude.
Blackjack. Hey, bro.
All you crazy folks. Blackjack.
Nice to see you guys each week. Absolutely. Nice to see you guys each week. Yeah. I'll always get kind of caught up in everything happening around here and never spending enough time in the chat. You
I know.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys. We know you're there. Love you guys. So yeah, rock
Sometimes we get a
on.
little caught up in stuff,
We do.
but that's good. It's good.
We
Tom's
do.
got his Elvis glasses on. So
Thank you very much.
Three people
Love
told
the
me it was
shades, Tom.
Elton John,
Elton John's too. Yeah.
KXM Rock, and then
You need-
Lenny Lou, and then Quentin said that.
You need to like bedazzle those a little more to be Elton John
Oh
stuff.
no.
Yeah.
Is Lenny here? Is she in the chat?
She
Yeah,
is.
she's here.
Oh, hey, say hey to Mary, Lenny.
Hey, you want to see something really cool though? I'll show you something really cool before we have to go.
I don't know. Do we?
You ready?
I guess.
You want to see something cool?
Absolutely.
You don't have to.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I do.
So hold on, let me get this closed.
Oh boy.
So I use this for storage. Obviously, this is not for the original, but this is what my ammo can looks like. Oh wait, I got to turn that off. Hold on.
Blue?
No, it's not blue.
It's not green.
Yeah, it's like seafoam green. It's coming out a little more blue, but that's not the best
Nice.
part. This is the best part. Look, it's pink inside of the lid.
Ooh.
That's a nice ammo case.
I can make a nice amp out of that.
I just
Or
went to the
guitar.
Army surplus store and got a ammo can and
Nice.
painted it.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Very
Like
cool.
it. I always wanted to try to make a guitar out of one of those.
Did you say you can make an amp out of that?
Yeah,
Interesting.
sure.
It's a
Hang on
really
with that thought for a later conversation. I'm intrigued by that, Brendan.
it would be perfect for that too, because if you get the original military ones, it's really thick
Right.
grade steel, because it was
They've got weight.
Yeah.
They have some weight to it.
oh yeah, well it's holding a lot of ammo, so
Absolutely.
yeah, it's not light, it's definitely heavy. And it's got a bunch of perfect little areas where you can put the holes through. It's got the handle on the side, like the rack handle, the lock rack handle, or whatever you call it, and then the regular one.
Well, Brennan's building it in his head as you're talking. This is cool.
Yeah.
I'm watching this in real time.
It's already built.
Excellent.
I need someone like Brennan though to go, no, that's not going to work, dude. You can't do that. That's a great idea, but it doesn't work.
Don't try that.
We tried this, and he's like,
Don't
yeah,
try
no.
that. No.
If
Yeah,
it was that easy, they would have done it. Like,
It's not the right configuration now.
People have been engineering for many years. They've already figured that out. It doesn't work.
Most everything that you've seen has been done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's what I was asking Lawrence Petros a question. I said, could you do this? And he goes, most stuff it's possible to do, but the question is, do you want to make one feature on a pedal that causes the pedal to be this big? Like, because you have to have like, for example, like, trying to take a vintage amp and make it a multi-channel preamp going into the power amp, you got to put in a whole separate relay PCB board. And like, people don't realize that, like, the relay board, I've seen one, it's almost as big as a full PCB board for preamp. So instead of one preamp board in the chassis, you're trying to shovel two preamp boards up, and then you're trying to float the relay board. If any of those touch those little spaces, you get a little moisture in between those, man. You wonder why those complex amps go up in flames sometimes,
Well, yeah, and you open them up and you got glue everywhere, so nothing touches.
But I was amazed. I won't say what kind, but I used to own a really expensive amp, but had a lot of parts and 3 channels, and man, if those parts tolerances, like the distance were so close, if any part went wrong, I was gonna have to take it to an authorized place to get it fixed, because there's no way you were taking that off it was a thick PCB, but taking it off there and then moving it out, putting a new one in.
That's not fun. I've had to troubleshoot to the component level before it worked.
Oh,
that's not fun.
No,
not fun.
Why won't you mention what company?
Because it's a huge manufacturer of amplifiers. I just don't think it's right to do that to someone's business. I wouldn't make their boards the way they're making them now. So.
No. Keith made his first amp using an AM car radio in a big box he made in wood shop. That's cool.
Excellent.
I think the reason they did do it though is cost. You know, I mean, like the Pete Thorne head, the Sir Pete Thorne head, and it's not Sir, by the way. It's not Friedman. It's not any of those guys. Not Fender and Marshall. It's a smaller one, but it's big enough. So that's why I don't want to say what it is. But anyway, the PT100 head is essentially the custom audio electronics OD100 head with a couple tweaks. And Pete even said so himself. And then they redid stuff later and changed it. But the original head is a custom audio electronics PT100 head. And then it became a Sir PT100 head when John Sir left custom audio electronics. But you can still find those heads out there. But those OD100 heads were not a new thing. It's the same amp that Michael Landau's been using forever. Those old OD100 custom audio electronic heads. But, they're all based on a variation of an old Marshall. They're just, more bulletproof. No one's doing anything new, but,
It's tough to,
I think it's tough to make a living and make a good amp. There's a lot of people have made great amps, but you can't make a living doing that sometimes,
Sometimes.
Friedman is maybe, a couple guys are the exception. Fryette, Friedman, some of those guys, but, there's so many small billers. 65 amps were phenomenal.
Princeton Reverb 65.
Oh, hey guys, it's Mitch Heyman's birthday today. Shout out to
Wow.
Mitch,
Happy birthday, Mitch.
What's up, Mitch? Happy birthday, brother.
Mitch. Almost forgot.
If you're here or if you're just watching and see this at any point.
We love Mitch. Mitch is
Happy
awesome.
birthday, Mitch.
dude.
If I ever have an IT question or anything, because I'm a complete moron, that's the guy I'm hitting up. So just heads up, Mitch.
No, you're not, Charles. You're here. You have a camera on and audio, so you can't be that
I'm
bad at
halfway in
it.
the middle of getting all my stuff straight. I got a new 4i4 third gen Focusrite.
Nice.
And, new near field monitors, and I'm in the process of getting a new computer because I have all the other new stuff. I don't want to have a dated computer because I want it all to sync up, drivers, everything properly. So I'm about 65% to 100%, 65% of the way there to getting all my stuff straight so I can actually start producing guitar.
Cool. Which
audio and
what monitors did you get?
And they're Eris. They're called Eris PreSonus.
Yeah.
PreSonus.
Nice.
They're
Yeah,
not super high end, but they sound pretty good. I put them through some tests. They're good for startup. They're good for a good startup. I'll have a good sound. I'm pretty much emulating Steve from Boston's setup. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's interesting. Let's talk about that for a second. Hack mentioned something to me. Hack's here. He'll love this. You get kind of all the patches that I notice that I hear, like when I hear Steve, even though he goes through different patches and he pulls them up, they all have a sort of an underlying similarity. It's a tone. It's something in the tone, and it's because it's manufactured. And so there is a downside to not just miking a good amp through a Focusrite and sending that signal out. I was 50-50. I've got 50-50 on this whole thing, guys. And I know that whatever decision I make, I'm going to live with for a while, but I have a funny feeling I'm going to be tweaking things as I go. So anyway.
You know what people that do it to the extreme, I was watching Pete Thorne and he copied what Tim Pierce did because they're both doing it professionally from Tim Pierce from his home and Pete rents a studio. But they literally have 50, 100 or 100-foot cables that go down, and Tim Pierce showed his. It's like, I don't know, maybe about 8 feet deep by about 7 or 8 feet high, and it's like 15 feet long, and it has all the mics in there. Yeah. Cables run up through, and the power from the cabinets, the cabinet speaker cables run up through. And it literally comes right out as monitors.
Wow. There's so many ways to do it. I didn't know. I'm new at this.
But they use, and Pete did that because Pete said he used to use IRs, but he went back to using old Celestians, which that's my favorite. I actually prefer I like the black backs, like 73 475 to like 79. I think 79 or 80. The 65 watt Celestians came in for 1 year, but prior to that, the blackbacks. So like the 25 watts or 30 watt speakers actually. Now it's called a G12H30. It's a 30 watt speaker, but it has a 55 hertz bass cone instead of the 75 hertz. 55 hertz magnet. So it's a smaller magnet. It's not the same as the 25 watt greenback. It's called a blackback, but it handles 30 watts. But it's a little bit different sound. So it's more of, I don't know what it would be akin to. Like more of a, I don't know, less of a Hendrix kind of greenback speaker and more of a 70s kind of harder rock kind of sounding thing. But I mean, it sounds good for cleaner stuff too, but I don't know, they're just getting way too expensive, you know. I mean, like $300 to $500 per speaker now. I saw a set yesterday in New Jersey, and the guy wants, and he'll probably get it. It's a set of 4 speakers, no cabinet, just the 4 speakers, blackbacks, and I think he wants $1,600. You know, the cabs are going for like $2,000 to $3,000 now, and they used to be like $600 all day long. Those 70s cabs, you know.
Jeez, that's crazy.
If I could have only bought them in high school when I didn't have the money, but they were cheap.
That's how it was.
You know, so what are you gonna do?
I don't know, man.
They do sound great though. I still have one. I have one left in the kitchen, and so.
All right, kids. We are gonna wind things down here on Show Me Your Pick. Yeah.
Mike Johnson said your Les Paul looks amazing, Charles. Sorry.
What was that, Tom? What was that?
Mike Johnson said your Les Paul looks amazing. I agree.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, guys.
That's the perfect color for a burst, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one too. It's a good one. That's a good one.
So for tomorrow night, Halenville Live, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about the shows this week, and it's been a bunch of them. That's tomorrow night right here.
Cool.
And next week, we will be right back right here at 9 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Show Me Your Pick.
Yes, sir.
Who are we doing?
Has
Surprise.
yet to be determined.
It's a surprise. Tony doesn't even know yet.
The suspense freaking kills me, guys. I'm just telling you. Suspense kills me over here.
There's a lot of tomorrow night.
I'll live with it. I'll live with it.
There's a lot of bands out there, Charles.
Yes, there are. Hey, congratulations, Quentin, on that pick, man.
Yes.
It's way cool, bro. Way cool.
Way to go, Quentin. Thanks for being here, and thanks everybody for being here. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, this has been fun. So everybody have a great weekend.
Be safe.
We're out of here. See you next week,
Later.
9 p.m. Eastern. Show Me Your Pick. See ya.
Good, guys.